Hello, my name is Ebony, and I did my project on the honorific systems of the Korean and English language. And in a sense, I compared them and did some contrasting as well. So on the table of contents we will be doing, like I said, Korean and then English as well. I broke down Korean a lot more than I did the English because it was really self-explanatory because the majority of us speak English. So we have like, the different types and the reasonings. For the different types, there are 7 speech levels. You have the he, heyo, handa, hamnida, hayo, hane, and haswoso, which they, like I said, range from informal, casual, all the way to extremely formal and polite. And I also put in like in the asterisk over here that it says Koreans show respect to the person they talk to or about by choosing the appropriate speech level. So their politeness, like I said, it corresponds to the speakers and listeners' interactions. And polite speech can also refer to anything formal or intimate if the listener is older or of a higher social rate than you. So, of course, that means you would use polite form as I learn as I'm still learning the language. You use polite form, of course, to someone who's older than you, to a stranger, and also, like I said, showing respect. And informal, it would be like to your friend. That's how I learned it. And also the honor. Honor is due not only to the listener but also to the people involved in the conversation. So one of the examples I remember learning in my Korean class was like when we learn like for mokda means to eat, we won't say, for our age group we would say mokda, but a higher age group, it will be of course a different, like a whole different word. It's just in the sense of your honorifics. And I also put on this slide, I like I said, the formal and polite. You have formal polite, formal and casual, informal and polite, and informal and casual as well. Examples I used, like I said, was 안녕하세요 and manaso 반가워요. 안녕하세요 means hello, of course, and manaso 반가워요 means like nice to meet you or it's good to meet you, whatever you want to differentiate. So for the examples that I found were like 안녕하십니까, which is like formal and polite. You have 안녕하세요, informal. It's still polite, but it's just not as high as it could go. And then 안녕, who of course would be what you use or what you would say to a friend, a close friend. And then, like I said, with the 만나서 반가워요, you have 만나서 반갑습니다, formal and polite. 만나서 반갑다, formal is casual, casual speech. 만나서 반가워요, like I said, an example up there, informal and polite, and then 만나서 반가워, informal and casual, which is also what you would use this with a friend or someone of the same age. The reasoning, I really enjoyed this slide a lot because literally the first one, the importance of speaking with the right level of respect is higher than what we are used to in English. As I stated at the beginning, that's our mother tongue is English, so we don't have the same honorifics as the Korean language. How we say yes ma'am, yes sir, no ma'am, no sir, but that's as high as it could go. We never stretch further, if that makes sense. Also, in the Korean, it is considered rude and inappropriate to speak without honorifics in the moment when it's culturally expected. It's like I just previously stated, we do not have anything of the sort. Also, you'll often hear people asking, 나이가 어떻게 됐어요? Which means how old are you? Because it determines whether you can be friends and agree to an informal language or need to establish honorifics. I put this on the slide about English, but I can also say it again. In America, it's considered and is deemed rude to ask someone how old they are or what year they were, because that just seems rude. You still address somebody with respect no matter what their age is. They're a stranger, you don't know them. So I thought that was interesting because, like I said, In Korea, that's what's normally asked, but in America, we deem that as being rude. Like I said, in English, there are not many changes or according to situations like age or social rank differences in of the situation. And I also put in comparison to languages such as Japanese and Korean, English doesn't have an especially rich system of honorifics. Commonly used honorifics in English include Mr., Mrs., Miss, Captain, etc. And like I said, we don't have I don't know. I thought that was very interesting when I did my research upon it because when you think about it, we actually don't. We're just so accustomed to it. We don't have different sayings for like my mother is eating this or my father is doing this. We just say it, but it's like we know in the sense of who is the most, who's our higher up. If that makes sense. Um, Certain honorifics such as ma'am and sir are used more often and carry more meaning in some parts of the country and even the world more than others, of course. It really just depends, like I said, where you are in the world. Everyone says different things. And I know because I'm from the South, clearly, we're in Texas, but we say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, no, sir, a lot. And I know in other places that seems as like disrespectful, which I don't know how, like I said, but I'm not up there, so I don't know. But I do know for sure that we use that a lot in the South. It's just different type of slang, I would guess. Um, for my summary and conclusion, I really just, tied, but pretty much literally, although we have a certain honorific system, the English language isn't as advanced as the Korean language. Like I said, when it comes to, I would say, respecting our elders as much as the Korean language does. We just don't do it. We just say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. The basics. We don't, change our whole topic of conversation for that one purpose. And like I said, these are my references. 감사합니다. Thank you.